Hello, everybody. Yeah, more Japan. Yay. I always wanted to go to Japan. I wanted to go to Tokyo and all that. I never wanted to see this side of Japan. You guys know me. I love me some paranormal. I love paranormal. I love ghosts, creatures, stuff like that. But I don't like this. See, this thing was just a mischievous little bastard. It's called an Amanojaku. Well, translates to heavenly evil spirit. We'll just call it evil. Um, we'll just call it evil. Things is a wicked monster that have been known since before history in Japan. They are described as evil kami or minor oni or yokai, who causes mischief and performs evil deeds. In particular, they are known for provoking humans into acting upon wicked implementation desires. Buried deep within their hearts, they spread spirit pollution wherever they go. Original, although the origins, guys, although they predate Buddha in Japan, Anju, this thing, evil, are frequently depicted as in Buddhist imagery as a symbol of wickedness, being defeated by righteousness. In particular, the fourth heavenly kings are depicted as standing on top of demons, squishing them. Those squished demons are said to be these evil things. The god Bishimononitin's armor is also decorated with these things. Evil originates, these Amanojaku originates in ancient mythology. Their true origins are a mystery. They appear to have developed out of ancient myths of wicked Shinto deities. Amanojaku, I'm butchering this word, languages. But let's just call them evil. We know them as heavenly evil spirits. Believe that heavenly evil spirits originate from one or even all of them. The legend the most well known about heavenly evil spirits is the story of Yuriko Hime. In this story, a childless elderly couple discovers a baby girl inside of a melon. They took her home and raised her as their own, and they named her Yuriko Hime. She grew into a beautiful young woman, and one guy requested her hand in marriage. Arrived delighted, her parents went off to town to purchase her dowry and prepared for her wedding. Before leaving, they warned her not to open the door for anybody, no matter what. Shortly after Yuriko Hime heard a knock at the door, Yuriko Hime, please let me in. She refused to open the door. The voice replied, if you won't open the door, then at least open the window a crack. Reluctantly, she opened the window just a crack. As soon as she had done so, a long clawed finger slipped into the crack and smashed the window open. It was a heavenly evil spirit. The heavenly evil spirit leaped out and Yuriko, tearing at her clothes. The young woman fought for her life, biting and kicking at the demon, but she was not strong enough. The heavenly evil demon snapped her neck. She died. Wow, this thing is evil. This thing didn't stop there, though. It flayed Yuriko Hime's skin and wore it like a suit, hiding itself in her clothes and disgusted. disguising itself as a young woman, disguised itself as a young girl. When the girl's parents came home, they were fooled into thinking her daughter was still alive. Finally, the wedding day arrived, and the elderly couple brought that heavenly evil spirit in disguise to its husband. To be, however, the crow in a nearby tree called out, warning the couple that their daughter was not what she seemed. They grabbed the bride and tightened, held her down. They washed her body until the filleted skin saw off, and that demon was revealed. And then it ran for its life. But the elderly couple chased after it. More and more people joined until the host of villagers chased the demon through the village. And finally, the townspeople caught it and hit it with a stick, stones, and tools. They beat the demon into the bloody mess, and it died. So yeah, this thing's completely evil. Yeah. Well, since that whole thing went awry with just being a normal person and not a demon or whatever, they still paid us. Had no choice. The police made them pay us. Yeah. And then I got an extra reward for, payment for capturing. That was fun. So Tim and his friend were, I think it was, oh man, Eddie, Teddy, I don't know. I'll just call him Tommy. Yeah, I like the Green Ranger. Tommy was my favorite Green Ranger when I was a kid. Well, I digress. That was years ago. Showing my age here, people. But what happened is that Sarah got a call by the police. Look, people in Japan are superstitious. They had a murder of a couple of people. A lot of people, actually. They don't take murder lightly in Japan. They think it was one of those heavenly evil spirits. They just couldn't prove it. You see, whenever a wedding would happen, they would find the husband dead, and his wife's skin laying next to it. Well, whenever they thought it was a paranormal, they believed it was paranormal, they had no reason for it not to be paranormal. And I said I'd jump right on it. They had hired me personally, not the other two. I asked her if she would help me out, give me information on any demon that did something similar, and that's what she came up with. Now, why they hired me personally? I guess they liked working with me. I don't know. Didn't care. I was to work with the detective Eric. I forgot his last name. I would say Lee, but that's not a thing in Japan. It was a guy. It was a girl named Yuri Mizumi. Yuri Mizumi. Yuri Mizumi. Mizumi. I could never pronounce her name right. She hated that. She liked me, but she hated that I couldn't pronounce her last name properly. So she just said, "Don't pronounce her last name." So we went to the last few crime scenes. The what struck me odd, though, is that the photographs, the woman's skin was kind of slit down the back, like, you know, you would take a thin, very thin razor, and like a fillet knife, and you would fillet it, like you would, well, you would a fish. And this, everything was still there, fingertips, everything there. It was a bit strange, though. The husband, this husband of the last murder, told his family that he had a suspicion that it wasn't his wife because her eyes, she always wore blue contacts. She did not have her blue contacts in. She would never leave home without her blue contacts. Now, a lot of women in Japan, Yuri told me, some women in Japan wear contacts to separate themselves from other women in Japan. You had your anime girls who dressed in cosplay. You had other type of people who wear the type of clothing, but they all, if they wanted to separate themselves, they would always wear a different color contact. Because most people because they're not as diverse as Americans, most people over in Japan have brown eyes. Unlike America, because we're such a diverse culture, we have green eye, blue eyes, red, yellow eyes, orange eyes, mine are hazel-ish. And well, as we went through that, we had to find out a couple of things. When's the next wedding gonna happen? See, there was a lot of weddings that happened in Japan. The thing is that this thing would not go after an American, so we had to rule out American weddings because none of the women did before were Americans; they were only Japanese. Now, from what it would seem, is that this thing went after young, beautiful women. I was in Japan. I didn't know the ugly women from the beautiful women. But they were young. They were all in at least their 20s, early 20s. So that ruled out any women from Japan that were in their 30s that they were getting married to. Secondly, they all had long hair. Not bob cut, long. I mean, all of them about the same 10-inch long hair. Or longer. Half a foot, some of them down the back. They were all very skinny. That's half of Japan. So I didn't really worry about weight. So I didn't rule that out. And secondly, the husband was rather rich. Now, this thing in the old story, in the story, it killed these people, killed this person. Took a look and all that. Well, took her skin basically, you know. This, but I had to, and I thought, okay, no, What went missing in the room? Yuri asked me what did I mean. I said, when the husband was killed, what went missing? Well, she of course said everything that the couple had. The money. All the money that was on them. It was gone. The dowry, everything. These people that she was going after, were rich. Very rich. That was our target. The next person with a hell of a lot of money. There was only one wedding that was going to happen within a week. Now, we had to set up a couple of things. One, we had to make sure that we had officers on that church or temple, whichever they did. And at the girl's home. We had to make sure all that was being watched at all times. Now, I went through the guest list of all the other people that were at the I don't know why I did it. Just came to mind. There was one person that was at every one of those weddings. Knew the bride and or groom. Now, why the police did not catch this person? One reason, the name was spelled differently each time, but it was the same name. So, I had to go check this person out. Found out where this person lived at and went to the apartment, checked it out. Heard someone coming. I did a smart thing. Well, I thought it was smart. I hid in the closet. Now, why on earth did I hide in the closet? It's the only thing that was big enough to hold me. Now, this room, this apartment, stunk to high heaven. Horribly bad. Very, 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 very bad. It was just smelled bad. Don't know why. I found out why later. I'll let you know. This girl came into the apartment, undressed. Okay, so I'm getting a show. She then commenced to peeling off her skin, unzipping it from the back, and this thing was ugly as hell. That's when I kind of got caught. It opened the closet. Who opens the damn closet in their bedroom? No one opens their closet in their bedroom. No one puts their clothes in the closet in their bedroom anymore. It looked at me, I looked at it. I flashed a bright light in its face. What do you mean by bright? I'm talking about one of those flashlights so daggum bright it could blind a freaking bat 10 times over. Yeah, bats aren't really blind, but you know what I'm saying. And then I run out. This thing is screaming and screeching as I run out of the hotel room. As I run out of that apartment building. God, that thing was ugly. Call the popo. They go up there. It's gone. It must have climbed out the window or gotten its skin and ran. They found out what was making the smell in the apartment. Well, the body. The body of the girl that it skinned was still in the apartment. The wedding was going to happen the next day. We knew what she looked like, who she was. There was no time for that thing to get into someone else's skin and get it into the party. That we knew of. Now I knew that we thought the movie was gonna be held 2 weeks. The show was gonna, the wedding was gonna be 2 weeks away. It wasn't. That was an old, they changed it for that week on advice of the friend that was gonna kill them both. So we convinced them to spend the night in a hotel room surrounded by the cops. Yeah. So neither one would be murdered. And no money would be stolen. So what happened is that after that night, the wedding was about to start. The bride to be went off to the bathroom. I had Sarah and Yuri follow her as I kept an eye on the groom and every other guest. Now the police were looking around. Sarah and Yuri heard her scream in the bathroom. They ran in the bathroom. That creature was in there trying to kill them both. Kill her and Sarah as Yuri busted in. Yuri got a couple of shots off before getting knocked down. And then it ran out. It had a couple of bullet holes in it, but it wasn't about to let that stop from killing the groom. It almost killed the bride. Thank God it didn't. It came out there and started getting closer and close through the crowd. I was watching at a pretty good vantage point. This thing walked through the crowd slowly, walked up to the groom as everybody was running away, and just as it was about to pop its claw out, I tackled that son of a and knocked it to the ground. It shoved me away into the stage and commenced to stab its finger into my shoulder. I quickly popped out my kukri and cut its arm off. It hurt like hell. It screeched and screamed until I kicked its gut and commenced to cut its head off with my kukri. It was a hard job because that thing took a while to break. It came off and it fell to the ground. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. That's what I tell the police. Yeah, we had to make up some stupid ass story about some psycho bitch trying to kill the king. Well, kind of kill the not king, but you know, his name was King. That was weird enough. Yeah. So trying to kill the groom and nearly killed the bride. Now, how they made the whole thing disappear like they did, I did not ask. I got paid and I was fine. So yeah, we went back to the hotel after getting stitched, and Sarah recovering from being choked. And the bride and the groom got married. We actually got honors at the wedding. It was great. It was cool. We got a little bit of money. I got a really cool sword out of it too. I want to see how well this thing works. It's a family heirloom. It's really sharp too. I just hope they don't mind me using it at whatever we got next. Well, guys, thank you for staying with me. Good luck, good night, God bless, and on to the next.